years, they've wanted us to believe that the economy's like the weather. Oh, there's nothing you can do about it. It's raining, you walk outside, can't stop it from raining. You can either put on an umbrella or go back in the house. Well, the economy's not like the weather. The economy's nothing but a set of rules. Those rules decide the winners and the losers. And those rules are made by the men and the women that we elect. And those rules have been rigged against working people for going on 3 decades now. And brothers and sisters, for too long, we've worked for the Democratic Party. Now it's time to make the Democratic Party work for us every day of the week, every holiday, every Sunday, and every weekend, because we're the backbone of this country. And a big part of our raising wages agenda is collective bargaining. And let me tell you some good news. Collective bargaining is on the rise. We're organizing peanut shellers and steelworkers in the South. We got 5 million union workers, brothers and sisters, negotiating contracts this very year. This is the biggest year for collective bargaining in American history. And let me tell you why that's important. You see, in the first 6 months of this year alone, working people in all kinds of jobs, union jobs, have won an average pay increase of 4.3% the old-fashioned way, by demanding it, by standing in solidarity for it. And with our contracts, we can raise the bar for all workers, not just union workers. So your contract lifts up my contracts, and my contract lifts up your contracts. And I want you to know something. The AFL-CIO will have your backs as you head into bargaining, and I promise you, whatever it takes, we'll be in with you, lock, stock, and barrel, because when you win, all of us win. And only when you win do all of us win. I remember back when my son Rich was a little guy, maybe 3 or 4 years old at that time. Now he's a lawyer and he's getting married in just a couple of weeks. But when he was a kid, his grandfather had bought him one of those battery-operated Jeeps that, the kids run around in and knock things over with and drive parents crazy. You parents know out there what I'm talking about. Well, he and his buddy Chad were driving around the backyard making mischief. And I was out there too, talking on the phone about what else but unions. And Rich must have overheard me, because he drove up and he said to me, "Dad, what's a union?" So I told Chad to get out of the Jeep. And we had a hill in the backyard, pretty steep little hill. And I said to Richard, "Push that Jeep up the hill by yourself. Chad, you stand over here." And he started pushing that Jeep up the hill, and he'd grunt and he'd groan, and he'd get up a few inches and he'd slide back, and it'd work again and it'd slide back. And after 4 or 5 minutes, he looked at me in bewilderment and exhaustion, and he said, "I can't do it, Dad." So then I told his buddy Chad, I said, "Chad, get behind that Jeep and both of you push it up the hill." Well, working together, they grunted a little bit, and they slipped a little bit, but they pushed the Jeep up the hill. And I looked at my son and I said, Rich, that's a union. People coming together to do things that they can't do alone. See, today, working men and women can feel like we're struggling and we're pushing without getting anywhere. Wages are too low and benefits are too low and retirement security just isn't. It's hard. And the corporate right wing is waging the most sophisticated anti-worker campaign that we've ever seen. And I'll take our might over their money any day of the week. Because when we work together, there's no challenge too difficult, no obstacle too great, no hill too steep. Brothers and sisters, pledge with me today that we'll fight together, that we'll stand together, that we'll push together, that we'll organize together, we'll mobilize together, we'll register together, we'll vote together, and we will win together. Win a better America for our kids and their kids, for our country, and the day when every single worker can look you in the eye and say, I'm making it, I got the American dream again. God bless you.